I've heard an extreme advocate of masculinity and traditional masculine feminine values preach really intensely about this with a lot of love as well. With this man saying all about men being strong, men being providers, and women being strong, but as nurturers. And what he was saying, he was an older gentleman, 70 odd years old, very fit, very strong, very healthy, very heart-centered, very passionate, very masculine as well. And he was saying, if you try to be with someone that's like you, because you're having their masculine and you're feminine, they have their masculine and feminine, why do you need each other? Why do you need each other? If my partner goes to work, makes her money, comes home, can do the dishes, does the cooking, all that stuff, she doesn't need me. So what's the point? What's the point? And then he was saying, if you're a man and you're providing, and then you just meet another woman that's providing as well, what's the point? Where's the collaboration? Where's the teamwork? Where's the leveraging different skills and that kind of stance? And it did have me thinking. It is an important perspective. It's an important perspective because I know for a lot of men, I know being a man and talking to a lot of men, feeling a little bit less needed, less important. I noticed that if I'm in a social space and there are more traditional men that I'm just going to say are 40 years old, 40 or older, and they're not in touch with their emotions, they're not spiritually aware, and they're not into all this work. They're just looking for ways to feel important. That's it. I just witness it. 60-year-old men, 50-year-old men. What can I do? You want me to take that out there? Oh, I feel all important. I'm taking it out there. Yeah, I've got something to do. And then when there's nothing to do, they're just standing around bored, feeling like, what's the point? Maybe they'll go into their own world and then sit in front of the TV, watch some sport or water the garden, or they want to do something. They want to be relevant and important. And I feel to a certain degree, almost like the degendering in a way and the depolarization between men and women both becoming whole perfect beings that have masculine and feminine. In a way, it is making that clear delineation between different skill sets and different contributions so that there is a clear need for each other and a feeling of, well, I need you for this and you need me for this. It's not like a real tit for tat thing. It's just there's a lane that each person's in, and that lane gives the other person heaps of benefit that they can be deeply grateful for, appreciative of, and understand the differences of. And I understand that what I'm bringing in as a perspective that this man shared from this keynote is going to be more controversial and it's going to be more jarring for some people if you're listening, potentially. But let's just look at all the different perspectives in this situation, because that's a form of neediness. And so this book was saying if someone's got an anxious attachment style, they don't have to learn to become sovereign and interdependent. They just need to find someone that's a secure base, a securely attached person, that when they go into their need for touch, need for this, it's not the secure person isn't avoidant and says, hey, you deal with this because you coming at me with all this neediness is making me feel uncomfortable. They can say and see and respond with some sensitivity to what's needed in that moment to allow that person to feel soothed. They're anxiously attached. They need me to call them. I'm not just going to pull away or, teach them to love themselves. I'm actually going to go, this person is programmed in a way where they feel the need to have extra validation. So I'm just going to give it to them so that they feel safe and they know that they can depend on me. They're codependent. We're codependent. We depend on each other in different ways. This person's feeling unsafe. I'm going to be a dependable source of safety with this person right now. That's interesting. That's an interesting perspective. Now, one thing that I found triggering about the book for me because of my own shame and insecurities is that the book definitely, in the reading tone, the unspoken energy of the book from my interpretation, was that there was a vilification of avoidant attachment. It was a lot healthier to be seen as anxious than it was avoidant. And there wasn't really much focus on holding equal compassion if someone's anxious and equal compassion if someone's avoidant. There was more of a anxious is more towards what the authors of the book see as healthy, which is, hey, people are meant to need each other and want to lean into more closeness. Someone that's got anxious attachment, that's what they do. Avoidant, yikes, there's a little bit more of a problem here. Whereas as someone that has avoidant tendency, I was reading it feeling a little bit unseen, a little bit like and this is a bit of a chapter that I'm going through, and part of what's inspired this episode is a stand for compassion for myself and other people that have avoidant tendencies. And so that leads me to discuss the point now of the other side of the equation, which is more of the sovereign wholeness. There is power in this other perspective too.